Hello, everyone, and welcome to sunny Chicagoland Speedway here in Joliet, Illinois for race number 10 of 14 in season number 6 of the NSDCA Mountain Dew Custom Series. The chase for the championship heats up, and as the Sundrop Cup Series and Crown Royal Truck Series take part in their final rounds before their chase, it's a full season points battle here down in the MDCS. We're going to be watching it closely here today. Anderson Reed, big storyline coming into today. He's starting deep in the field, 23rd there in his red and white HEB Dodge Charger, number 39 for Evernham Motorsports. He has a 2-point lead over teammate Jeffrey Finguy, the 79, who starts P11. So neither driver in the top two of the standings starting in the top 10, so that's going to be very interesting. Zach Rogers, third in points. He's 10 behind the Evernham duo, the fellow Dodge. He's starting all the way down in 19th, so still not a good qualifying session for him. Then you take a look. Daniel Kobza and Patrick Smith, 4th and 5th in the point standings, 22 and 36 points, respectively. Patrick Smith, the 97, the Canadian there, will sit on the pole, while Daniel Kobza, the Californian, sits third, just behind the 97. Those two battled it out for the win at the last mile and a half we went to, which was all the way back in race number 2 at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. But here at Chicagoland, looks like it's going to be Dodges versus Toyotas. 3 Dodges there in the top 6. Jacob Rose, 6th in the point standings, 6th on the grid. The BGM duo of Irving Allison and Mikey Yamakaze still fighting it out for the Owners' Points Championships, but with the 13 being a rotation of drivers and Yamakaze missing 2 races early in the season, neither of them fighting for the Drivers' Championship. But the Owners' Championship might be something BGM has their duo out there to play for here today. Also, some good qualifying runs there. Taking a look at row 4, 2 drivers kind of struggling this season. Colton Yo in 8th in the 48. He starts 8th, but he's currently 15th in the standings. And then 21st in the standings, James Ellison to his inside. Vince Free still trying to hang on to any hope that he may have at a championship. He's over a race back now in that NBM 27, still sitting 7th in the standings. Priya McShane, good run for her to Vince's inside, starting 9th. But 41 laps await us here today at the Chicagoland Speedway. We saw a big battle for the win last year between Colton Lane and Roger Ray. What happens today with this field of 35? Let's find out after the command to fire the engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
As the V8s roar to life here at Chicagoland. 41 laps ahead of us, like I said. Take a look at some other big storylines coming in. Noah Hart was, I believe, 3/10, nearly 4/10 off of the 34th place car, Kev Shearer. Just an awful qualifying from the 03. And unfortunately, the car did not even pass post-qualifying inspection. So something completely wrong in the Monster Motorsports camp there, as the failing inspection didn't lose Noah any positions, but still just insult to injury on what has been a poor weekend for them so far. Jay Jefferson as well, starting deep in the field there in the number 8. We take a look. Luke Evans, I believe, is making his first Mountain Dew Custom Series start there in the 57 for Johnson Performance. Luke's new team, he bought some equipment from Silver Wolf, I believe. They also attempted to make the race, but they failed to make the field with KT Larson. Taking a look back up, Austin Delgado has been a driver hot in the past few weeks, but he's starting midfield. He's climbed his way up to 8th in the point standings. We'll have to see what he can do today. Hometown hero Peter Onjak starting there in 13th, making another run for Hagen Enterprises. But here we come. Pace car is peeled off. Patrick Smith going to lead them down to green alongside Irving Allison. They're on the gas. They're racing in the Dollar Tree 225. 41 laps of action are ahead. And a slow start for Irving Allison as Kobza and Yamakaze have both gotten by on the inside. Matt Sladek trying to come up as Kobza looks high there on the back straightaway, opening the bottom up there for Yamakaze to work with. fellow Toyota driver, Matt Sladek there, but the bottom doesn't seem to have too much speed, at least in 3 and 4, as it's going to be the 44 and 13 rocketing back by on the top. Looks like a 3-car breakaway here early, 97, 44, 13. Some of the strongest cars in this field, but it's so early, a lot can happen. Cobb's looking already pretty racy for that race lead. He knows he doesn't need to lose any points to Patrick Smith, and if he possibly takes Smith out of the championship fight or give him a bigger hole, it'll only be more security for that 44 to chase down Rogers and the Evernham duo. Across the line once again, these top 3 really gapping it out now, up to 0.8 of a second, trying to break away from the rest of this field. Looks like another 3-car breakaway here, the 0, the 0-1, and the 17 trying to split off. I believe last season we saw a 3-car battle for the lead most of the race. I know Colton and Roger Ray were up there, but I believe Logan Cloud had broken away as well. And here comes the 44 to the inside of the race lead. Smith nearly pushing up into the wall off the corner, but Kabza pushing through, leads it at the line, and gains a bonus point. Boy, Irving Allison really trying to race hard here today. He's only out here for a win and possibly to give that 13 some more owner's points. Like I said, they are still in it for the owner's points battle because they have had a ton of strong drivers in that car all season. Nearly to the back, to the left rear quarter panel of 97. They're entering turn number 3, but they're going to be side by side, and Irving taking P2 from the Canadian. Matt Sladek has fallen off Yamakaze and Rose. Now Finn Guy looking to the inside as it's going to be Colton Yo and James Ellison battling it out. Sladek really working the high line. A little bit slow off the corner, but that was an aggressive move, searching for grip here early. Probably don't want to go that high. You're better off running the middle around here at Chicagoland. As Priya McShane throwing it 3 wide. That's going to be close between Yo and Ellison. Ellison has been in too many incidents this season 3 wide, so he backs out of it. And Colton is going to get the most out of those 3 as they fight for 8th. But boy, one of the dominant cars of this season. When Daniel Cobbs gets the lead, it is hard to take it from him. Las Vegas. I don't know. I believe Jeffrey Finguy led the most laps at Vegas. He was either Finguy or Kev Shearer. Kev had a terrible qualifying. He started at the back. But Steelback, I believe Cobbs led every lap. I know at Pikes Peak, Cobbs' 3rd win this season. He led, I believe, 58 of the 60 laps there. So if Cobbs gets this race lead and can get a gap, it's going to be really hard for this field to catch him. And it would be something for Anjado to get a win in the Chicagoland area. Now as they come through, top 6 really breaking away. It's still close to Sladek trying to keep whatever ground that he can. It's Anjek really getting aggressive there underneath Ellison. Mike Cook having a really good run there for Shepherd Racing in that number 89. He's down to 20th in the point standings. Does have a top 10 this season, but Cook, one of the more quiet drivers here in the field, would be nice to see him possibly sneak into the top 10 once more. But Anderson Reed working his way up through the field. He's gotten past Zach Rogers. He's got 5 cars between him and Zach Rogers. That's going to be big, as Rogers not only going to lose on that, but he's going to lose to Finguy as well. Finguy definitely would have the points lead where people are sitting currently. Back up to the front. Here comes Patrick Smith looking back to the inside on Irving Allison into turn 1. You can really work the bottom in 1 and 2 a lot better than you can in 3 and 4. And it's going to be the Pizza Hut Dodge Charger taking it back for P2. But don't look now because here comes Mikey Yamakaze to the inside of his teammate. A late look, a mid-corner lunge. Trying to sneak it up the inside of Irving Allison. Can't quite do it. Has to check up. Loses just a little bit more time. But boy, that's going to allow Patrick Smith to possibly run down Daniel Cobbs. Could it be these two possibly duking it out for the win at Kansas like we saw them do at Las Vegas earlier this year? Are these the 2 drivers who we need to watch out for in the mile and a half when they're both in the Crown Royal Truck Series next season? Cobbs, a rookie. Smith, a veteran. He's been here every season of the NSDCA. He's at least been in a race. Season 4, he had stepped out, but he did come back for Kansas, and I want to say he did fairly well at Kansas, at least during a part of that race, in what was a very weak equipment, a Sauber Racing Team truck. But boy, Patrick Smith has an engine underneath him, and it's something we rarely see this season. Daniel Cobbs getting passed for the race lead. Give it back to the 97 of Patrick Smith. And Irving Allison, Looks like he can do the move better than Yamakaze could. That mid-corner look, sweeps underneath the 44 once more, and now looking for the race lead on Patrick Smith as the laps fly by here quickly at Chicagoland. We're already 12 of 41. And give the Spaniard Irving Allison to the race lead here. He has never won an MDCS race, rarely competes in the MDCS. Now, trying to put it together and possibly bring something home here today. Rose has gotten past Yamakaze, but Yamakaze thinks better of that. A late look. Rose could not block that run. Here comes Yamakaze to the inside of Rose. Not only that, but to the inside of Kabza. As where did Colton Yo come from? I don't know if he even lifted going into that corner, but the car stuck. Sweeping underneath the 17 and looking underneath the 44. Colton Yo has had such a good truck season, possibly putting into the chase for running multiple teams. I think he's been driving for 2 or 3 truck teams this season, trying to put together a miracle run, possibly getting the CRTS chase, trying to do something as well here in the MDCS. Hasn't done much this season, but boy, Colton Yo is just putting together a real few good string of laps here. Taking a look, let's see, who has the fastest lap today? That would be Yamakaze, just a few thousandths over his teammate. Oh boy, Colton Yo pushing up nearly into the Kabza there. That was real tight through 3 and 4. But the top 3 breakaway once again. This time it's Allison, Smith, and Yamakaze. Let's take a quick look to the back of the field. They are scrambling back here. Jesse Turner mired in the back of the pack. Kev Shear making up absolutely no ground after his qualifying position. Kyle Corbett stuck back here with Jay Jefferson, Preston Evans. They're going to go 3 wide. This is going to be tight coming into 3, but no. Jefferson's going to back out. Christian Vargas, Antoine Smith as well, struggling back here. They're still 3 wide. Jay Jefferson, we saw it in the pre-race. He was not happy with where he started, even if it is Coors Light Racing, one of his drivers, Riley Spurley-Tube, his team. But boy, Jefferson knows he can race up there with the big guns and does not want to be back here. And they are putting on a show for these fans back here. Mile and a Half's put on great racing here in the MDCS. We didn't even mention last week's winner, Scott Roush. Scott Roush, the brand new NSDCA race winner here in that number 21 for Diatech, following his teammate William Duncan. It was a poor qualifying session for Diatech all around. Struggling here on the speedways, looking possibly to turn it around. Roush, I think his goal this season, after winning that race, is to not miss any other races, because he's missed 2 this season. Delgado, geez, did he catch the wall there off a 2? I know sometimes at 2 here at Chicagoland can really push up, possibly get the wall. Doesn't look like he has any damage, but real close to it. So good car control out of that 42. Roger Ray, I believe he qualified 32nd. He's made up a ton of ground. He's all the way up to 21st, so making up a ton of time as we're not even hit halfway yet. And another thing we need to mention, Jose Preston injury. Spinner. Oh, that's on, Jack. Around goes the 61, and they're not going to call a caution. They are not going to call a caution. Onjak really slow. No, they are going to now, because Corbett plows into the back of him. Luke Evans in his first start's going to get taken out. Noah Hart heavy damage. Jefferson's done. And I don't think many drivers are going to be happy with Onjak after that one. Probably should have kept it to the apron. And Patrick Smith currently in the lead of this race. But boy, tempers might flare here. Kyle Corbett having a bad season. Jesse Turner damage as well. That's who Turner's going to be driving for next season. He's going to be on Anj Auto next season. So right at halfway, we are under caution here in the Dollar Tree 225. Let's get some replays, see what happened, and figure out if Onjak is in the right or wrong for, pulling it back up onto the track at a real slow speed. All right, folks, first look here. Battling underneath Anderson Reed and Vince Freeze. Onjak looks like he's going to walk it up the hill, trying to give those drivers some room. And off the corner, it's going to be Austin Johnson getting into the back of the 61 and taking a spin through the grass goes Onjak. But boy, Austin Johnson is on probation, so we'll have to see how that works out. But then coming into the corner, so much slower than everybody else. They pile in. Oh, Turner got a good piece of that. As long as Luke Evans and Noah Hart, some hard hits there Some of those drivers are going to get some more looks at it here, but boy, I don't think there's going to be a lot of people happy in the garage area, not only with Onjek, but Austin Johnson as well, as Johnson gets caught up in another incident this season. Wide angle here in slow motion. Looks like Onjek was coming down and Johnson was coming up, taking the normal line off the corner, so that's just a case of going for the same piece of real estate here. And the 61 going to go for a spin. Might need some service at at his sponsor, the NTB shops, but spin around here, get it, saves the car, gets it back gathered up, excuse me. But it's just going to be a case of Kyle Corbett taking his normal racing line, not expecting the 61 to not only merge up. Well, Corbett was actually behind Bobo Jones coming into the corner, trying to make the pass, but it's going to run out of room and right into the back of the 61. So Kyle Corbett has had such a tough year, and he's going to back it into the outside wall. Oh, that hits it kind of hard with the driver's side. But boy, Luke Evans nowhere to go, and boy, Luke took a big shot there in the door from Noah Hart as well. That's real tough for that the 8 team and the 03 team, because both of those drivers, as well as the 29 actually, they're all on the verge to be locked into these races. The 03 hanging on by a thread, I want to say, over the 21 in the point standing. So for Noah Hart, that could be make or break for that 03 team season. But looks like Kyle Corbett going to be one of the only drivers to drive away from that one, at least out of the cars that were running toward the back of the field. Boy, there's 2 short tracks left at the season, and Corbett won some short track races in the DPDS last season, so Kyle will be hoping to turn that around. He's had some hard licks this season. He had that horrible wreck in Daytona single car qualifying and also at Old Spice, getting into the pit attenuator, but boy, really hope Kyle Corbett's really got to be hoping his season turns around. Get some onboards and then get you back to the green. On board the Advanced Auto Parts Pontiac of Austin Johnson. Well, you see the seam there in the middle of the racetrack. Johnson definitely did come up off the corner, but Onjek was definitely trying to turn it down off the wall. Gonna have to see. I think they're the only way something gets called, because something may be called. It's definitely gonna have to be under review, just only due to the fact Austin Johnson is in fact under probation. Out the rear of the Chicagoland area driver, Peter Onjek, as he's going to get turned around here. Off the gas, comes down as Johnson coming up, and takes a visit here to the backstretch grass. Gathers the car up, it's going to come back up the hill, and there's the 45 getting on the brakes, but not enough. Rising, our camera made it through that, but fortunately for some of those guys back there, they did not. It was the first career start for Austin Johnson's teammate Luke Evans, but it's going to come to a hard end here down in turn 3. Absolutely nowhere to go. Tough end of the day for the Tax Slayer Pontiac. Let's get you back up to the race green.
8,000 stores are closing. All that furniture is coming. Only 3 days to empty out the dump. So Friday, $1,000 beauty rests, $299 in any size, twin to king. $600 recliners, $199. $2,000 leather reclines to $699. With power, $799. Another 50% off Louis Philippe bedrooms, $799. Free delivery, 4 years, no interest. An extra 50 to 80% off to empty out the dump.
Happy, where are you going?
Got a big game tonight, Steve.
You cannot leave early.
Sure I can. I've already told everyone about Chevrolet of Homewood's Grand Slam deals on new Chevy Equinoxes for only $179 a month. Plus, the word is out that we're paying more than we ever have for pre-driven vehicles. Instant trade-in offers, cash on the spot. Great deals on new Equinoxes. I got this, Steve.
Smart shopper shop Chevrolet of Homewood.
On 180th and Halstead.
Shoppy, get back here.
Heads up!
Welcome back, folks, to the Dollar Tree 225 here at the Chicagoland Speedway. Under caution for an early incident. We do have some drivers out. Jay Jefferson Luke Evans, and Noah Hart. Kyle Corbett did not pit under that caution. An interesting move from the RER team to keep that damaged car out there. Jesse Turner did to make some damage repair works, but I am expecting these two to be off the pace. Patrick Smith leads over Irving Allison, Mikey Yamakaze, those two teammates. And then Colton Yost, Daniel Cobbs are your top 5. Then it is Jacob Rose, James Ellison, Pre McShane, Jeffrey Finguy, and Matt Sladek, your top 10. But Anderson Reed, your points leader, has snuck his way up to P11. Looks like Zach Rogers sitting about 17th or 18th in that 9 car, so he's going to be behind Diego Yepes, Austin Johnson, Alex Fletcher, John Dilks, and Vince Freeze. So some ground to make up there for himself. Coming back to green here, lap 24 of 41. Patrick Smith still looking for that elusive NSDCA victory. I believe he is only one of the few drivers from Season 1 that is left winless and that is still active. So if he does win today, that could be huge. I do believe he is still winless in his NSDCA career. If I am wrong, I apologize. But either way, we're back green here at Chicagoland. And already Irving Allison to a much better start than he did on the initial start, looking to the inside of the 97. Colton Yost, though, looking further, 3 wide for the race lead, possibly into 3. Does he make the move? He does, but he lifts off. Allison really pinching Patrick Smith up the hill, and that's going to buy the 13 some time out front. But Patrick Smith right there. Do we see a look into 1 while the positions are still hot? While he can still make the move? No. Hangs in the balance. Rose pushing underneath Cobbs. A big help there from James Ellison. Those two have some bad blood, I believe. Possibly, maybe if they work together here, they might be able to fix that. But Ellison looking to the inside. Way too late. Way too uncommitted. As Ellison pull up the hill. Try to sneak under Patrick Smith. Can't quite get it. Allison keeps it off the wall, but Patrick Smith going to have a big run down here into turn 1. Here comes the look from the 97, trying to take the race lead back. As Finguy going backwards back here with Austin Johnson being taken 3 wide. We'll have to watch that, but the battle for the lead's more important. Here comes Patrick Smith, still fighting Irving Allison hard. The front row, side by side here, deep into the race. As Yamakaze takes 3rd away, Patrick Smith to the race lead. Let's look back here as, Ellison, I may have gotten the wall there in the 53. I don't think he did, but he's going to be taken 3 wide by Anderson Reed and Vince Freeze. 2 drivers still out there fighting for the race championship. Well, and the race itself. Pre McShane really pushing up the hill. She's going to have to lift off, lose some time there. Finguy has fallen behind Zach Rogers. This is not where Finguy wants to be. He wanted to have that big position gain on both the 9 and the 39. Taking a look back up to the front, single file, top 4. Cobbs doing all right, kind of by himself as Rose slips back into the clutches of McShane and Ellison. Here comes James Ellison looking for P7 back once again. And Anderson Reed is here, the 39, one of the strong cars in the field, underneath the 2 of Priya McShane. And boy, Finguy still feeling the pressure, this time for Brad Stover, Alex Fletcher, Matt Sladek slipping backwards as Duncan trying to salvage what he can out of this race, coming off the heartbreak that was last time out at the Glen. Pushing closer and closer to the end of this race. Yamakaze underneath his teammate. Pushing up, getting a little tight there. Colton Yost might have a big run on these two down the backstretch. Side by side for second. Colton Yost might not have the tires to throw a 3 wide. Yamakaze takes second. Can Yost clear for third? Can't quite do it yet, but he probably will into turn 1 now. What can Mikey Yamakaze do? I'm not sure if Yamakaze has actually ever fought for a race win before. And an early look, probably too advantageous of a look, slips right back in line behind Patrick Smith. Austin Johnson cracking the top 10, getting past the 79 and the 27. The man is on a vengeance and could be possibly under review from the stewards. But now, here comes Finguy versus Freeze. Freeze, an unlikely championship contender. Finguy, a likely one. Does Freeze have anything left as he and Duncan and Delgado 47, 48, 49 back on the race lead? They all need miracles to stay in this fight. Finn guy falling back will help them. But boy, Reed being up there will not, as so will Rogers. Where's Zach Rogers? Zach Rogers has slipped backwards even further. Didn't even notice that, but Rogers is losing more and more ground. He's stuck up high, can't seem to find the bottom. Real tough for Zach Rogers. He might find it here in front of Mike Cook. If he can get down in time, he does. Not quite. The arrow push keeps him up, and he's going to lose more spots. Crash! Someone spun. Uh-oh! Oh, no! Finn guy's in it! Championship implications. Hard wreck. Everybody piling in. Oh, Jesus. I think that was Jesse Turner, the lap car, causing that. Cordell's blowing up. Delgado, that's goodbye to his championship. Corbett flying through. Onjek getting into Cordell Smith. What's going on? Who's even left in this race? They're still getting aggressive up here. Who's leading them back? Priya McShane has damage. Patrick Smith leads them back. The race has been turned up on his head once again. And it was a complete miss on my part, as I did not even think about Turner and Corbett being too slow. And they may have just affected this race. Mike Cook's out of it. Oh boy. Jeffrey Finn guy, is he still on track? He's got a ton of damage in that 79. They're going to have to definitely tear the hood off of that. I'm not sure. You got full side damage on the left side, full rear end damage. Oh. Unfortunately for Anderson Reed's teammate, that may have been what Reed wanted to see. Fletcher's got damage as well. I think Scott Roush has some. Sladek has some nose damage. Vargas is down pit road. Priya's got some side damage. Ellison might have some. We're going to get a replay, folks. See what happened. Who's out of the race so far? The 89, the 67. Jeffrey Finn guy is out of this race. Jeffrey Finn guy has retired from the race. That is massive for the championship. Duncan's coming back out. Vargas still sitting on pit road. The crowd is in disbelief. We're going to have to get a replay, folks. Let's see what happened. Well, folks, I'm not exactly sure what the officials were up to. Jesse Turner off the pace, about 20 miles an hour off the pace. Entering corner, so much slower than the rest of the field. He's going to hold up Irving Allison. I guess he was underneath minimum speed at this point, but just falling through the order. Priya McShane tries to go to the outside. Turner trying to get out of the way. Spotter did not call it. And McShane and Allison get damaged. Parks in front of Duncan and Finn guy. Absolutely no time to check up. Takes a hard hit, similar to the Corbett wreck. Really, nobody had time to slow up. It seems like with this package, they carry so much speed into the corners. It's really hard to get on the brakes and keep it stable as Ojek there gets into the 67 again, but it's just, I know Turner most likely has been staying out there trying to get whatever positions he could to try and keep it in the top 28 of owners points, but boy, there's going to be plenty of owners, plenty of drivers that are going to be unhappy with this one, I feel. The view from Jeffrey Finn guy as it all takes place ahead of him. You're driving in the smoke and nobody's lifting originally, and then you come through and see that, and oh, just got hooked. The front end damage probably would have been big enough already, and then ooh, Vargas sliding up into his path didn't help him either. But you drive through that smoke, you don't know what's going to happen, and then those guys just they had no time. They didn't know what was coming. They had no time to check up. It was unlike the Onjek accident. They had no clue what was coming. It just, and Finn guy is gonna lose a ton of points. Watching Priya McShane here, you'll catch the closing, right? It's just nowhere to go because the 29 was trying to keep it high, but Priya made the unfortunate mistake of going high, and then just Finn guy just comes in and oh, it was Sladek getting into the back of the 79, taking a hard hit to the outside wall. But boy, someone like Antoine Smith and Kev Shearer, absolutely full throttle, just plowing through that accident. They were lucky that nobody came down. Otherwise, that accident would have been much worse. But that's also a little bit irresponsible for them to be carrying that much speed through that wreck. Might have an on board with one of them. Well, we'll see what Kev Shearer saw as he attempts to pick his way through the smoke. I mean, you're coming through there, and the whole field is basically crushing into the line that you're going to take. Kev and Antoine Smith are extremely lucky that they are not hurt after that, because that was almost irresponsible. They're lucky. Camera crews caught this while watching back Zach Rogers' replay, folks. Hang on. And at that point, the track wasn't as blocked. Finn guy was up there against the wall. Rogers floored it. And it appears to have paid off for the 9 team. That's going to be huge in his bid for the championship, that he as well was not taken out at that. We'll get one more look and take you back to the green. Fly by here in turn 2, and after these messages, we will get you back to the finish of the Dollar Tree 225 after a big one that sees championship contender Jeffrey Finguy taken out in the carnage. Lights are out on the pace car, and welcome back to coverage of the Dollar Tree 225 here at the Chicagoland Speedway, presented by VictoryAutoWreckers.com. I'm sure some of those cars will be headed up there, up to the north side of Chicago after that one, to their junkyard, because, oh boy, they've seen a couple junkyard accidents here today. Multi-car wrecks taking out numerous drivers. We have Finguy, Cordell Smith, Delgado, Cook, Vargas, Bobo Jones, Turner, Jefferson, Evans, and Noah Hart out of this one. Patrick Smith leads over that's the wrong button, Yamakaze, Colton Yo, Daniel Kobza, Irving Ellis in your top 5. Then Anderson Reed, Jacob Rose, Austin Johnson, Brad Stover, and Vince Freeze, your top 10. The big gainers in the championship fight today will be Anderson Reed and Daniel Cobbs, it appears. Patrick Smith trying to cling on as well. Jacob Rose possibly, and Vince Freeze might be able to put himself just a little bit closer, but if he loses points to Anderson Reed, he's just going to need even more help. Pace car peeling off. It's going to be a 5-lap shootout here at Chicagoland to the green flag. It's a big launch from Yamakaze as he looks high. It'll leave the door open for Colton Yo unless he swoops it back down, which he does to the inside of turn 1. Does he get there? Patrick Smith leaves the door open. Here comes Mikey Yamakaze through, battling it out. Yamakaze, big run through the center of the corner. He powers to the race lead. What a move. What a restart from Mikey Yamakaze, as Smith not going anywhere. 3 by 3 here through 3 and 4. This is going to be tight. Colton Yo losing ground. Kobza through to second. Allison battling Jacob Rose here. This is real tight, and this is what Yamakaze wants to see. He wants to pull away with this one. Smith right underneath Kobza once again for second. Gonna take it back. Set his sights back on the 0-1. If Kobza can't cross over into 3, doesn't look like he will. Allison clearing the 4th. Colton Yo still trying to hang on to the top 5, but Rose looking to the inside in the 17. Jacob Rose pitching up the track. Yo pinching down. Has to shut the door off for Anderson Reed, trying to gain more points in that 39. They can go look up at the front. Patrick Smith, but looks like he was standing still with Kobza blowing by him. Irving Allison as well, as they are going to look to run down Yamakaze. Can Daniel Kobza win his 4th race of the season, or can Yamakaze get his first career one? Next time by, 2 to go. Settling down in the top 10. One final click through the order. Ton of damaged cars out there. Real slow cars, but there's so much little left in the race, they're not going to enforce anything. 2 to go for Mikey Yamakaze. Here comes Allison and Patrick Smith back underneath the 44, but Smith keeps it high, trying to work the dodges together, but it's currently a Butcher Gatorade Motorsports 1-2. Here comes Jacob Rose looking underneath Patrick Smith. Rose only 2 points behind Smith coming into today, but Smith is going to have some lead lap bonus points, so if Rose wants to gain anything, possibly get into that top 5 of the standings. Needed to get past the 97. Doesn't look like it will happen. White flag is out for Mikey Yamakaze. He got hurt at Road America, missed 2 races this year, but has come back strong, sitting 23rd in the point standings, 2 top 10s. What can Yamakaze do in the 0-1? Just about 3/4 of a mile, half a lap left at Chicagoland. Cobbs looking underneath Irving Allison for second. Might not be a BGM 1-2 here today. Anderson Reed's going to be taking 4th away from Colton. Another point for him, but off of turn 4, it's going to be Mikey Yamakaze bringing it home. He's a new first-time winner in the NSDCA. He does it here at Chicagoland. Funneling through, it's Cobbs, Allison, Smith, Reed, Yo, Rose, Stover, Yepes in the top 10, and Vince Freeze in 10th. Duncan real slow, limping it back to the line. But Mikey Yamakaze has done it. He is an NSDCA race winner. So, back-to-back. Yes, back-to-back first-time winners in the NSDCA. I believe 3 of the last 4 races first-time winners in the NSDCA. So the MDCS, ton of drivers, ton of cars that can win week in and week out. Still the only repeat winner after 10 races is Kabza. And we've had plenty of drivers like Patrick Smith here once again today come oh so close to it. I'm going to thank everybody here for watching at Chicagoland. It was a wild one here today. Where did Zach Rogers end up? He ended up 12th, so still going to lose some points, but not a disaster of a day like Finn Guy unfortunately felt. John Dilks was 11th in the point standings. He's going to come home 18th. Big run there for Antoine Smith, that small team, Sladek Motorsports Group. They're going to come home with the top 15. And then also down the order, taking a look, Matt Sladek, James Ellison, they both started in the top 5. Or, excuse me, they both started in the top 10. Sladek did start in the top 5, but they finished both outside the top 20. Thank you all for watching. Chicagoland has been a busy week in the NSDCA with the DPDS and MMS wrapping their championships up. The Crown Royal Truck Series and the Sundrop Cup Series setting their chase run grids. And here, the MDCS having its own championship implications. Next time out is one of the hard-knock tracks of the season, the South Boston Speedway in Virginia. The short track, I believe the shortest track of, no, it's not the shortest track of the year because we go to Oxford Plains. We went to Oxford Plains, and we all know how that went. So, and we've seen 4 first-time winners in the last 5 races in the MDCS. Alrighty, enough stats for one broadcast, enough racing, enough madness. Congratulations to Mikey Yamakaze. See you next time on the NSDCA.